In today's video, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys the top tips and tricks that are going to help you prepare for the next Rise crossover update. But before we go do that, would you guys like to have a chance to go and win a free Game Pass? All you need to do is drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment your Roblox username down below. Anyway guys, without further ado, let's get on with the video. Okay, so as you know, the next Rise crossover update is happening in a day or two, and I just want to go over some of the best things that are going to help you prepare for this update, because there's a lot of things to do at the current time in the game, and I'm going to go over the ones that are going to be worthwhile your time doing. And this video is more aimed at people that are in the end stage of the game, so that's where you actually can go ahead and do the frost area. But of course, if you are not in that area, do not worry, there'll still be some tips that are quite useful for you in this, and it'll also be useful to be doing things to help progress for the future of the game. So anyway guys, let's go ahead and I start telling you guys some of these tips. And the first one is that you need to get a good weapon. This game is mainly weapon focused. You can make some builds and shadows can be insanely good, but weapons are that much easier to get than a full team of crazy shadows, and they can do a very high amount of damage. So the first thing I'd recommend you do this update is trying to go ahead and obtain the Laruda dagger. I always say it wrong, but you need this dagger. This dagger is going to be insanely useful to you for your progression through the game. You can get it in a bunch of different rarities. I do believe they actually made it so you can no longer get an E rarity. And I do think actually C is the highest you can get from dropping in. Of course, if you manage to get multiple of it, you can then merge them up. And I did actually, in the most recent mini update, I'm pretty sure, like, increase the drop rates. This is even easier to get now. But if you are not sure how to go ahead and obtain this, so basically, this NPC will spawn here every 30 minutes. The first one's at 10 minutes past, the next one's at 20 minutes too, so like 40 minutes basically. And the Laruda will go ahead and spawn just here. It's this one, you've definitely seen it before. It was here earlier, I don't think I was recording back then though, but it will go ahead and spawn this area. You need to beat it, and you can also use a server hopping method to do this. And the server hopping method is actually quite effective. So I'm going to go show you guys how to do the server hopping method for this. So if you go ahead and leave the game after you want to beat the boss, it's going to be a little bit harder for me to pull off that well because I'm a little bit late going ahead and doing this. Then you want to go on the game, scroll down to servers. You want to then go to ascending servers. You then want to click load more, and then you just want to press on a server. Now, the reason you're pressing load more is a lot of people do this method. And yeah, if you don't end up doing this right, you may just end up getting a server with a bunch of people. Make sure you have your spawn set at Mori Town like I have there. And then come over here, and if we are lucky, the boss will still be there. Now, this is much more effective to doing groups or private servers. But I understand that everybody can afford a private server, so it's not possible to do. And hey, that worked out perfectly. There it is. Actually, wait, that's a snowball. It's not the one you want, so you can basically keep on going ahead and hopping. So even though the Snow Monarch is a good unit to go ahead and get, it isn't actually that crazy stat-wise compared to how good the Laruda dagger is. So what you should do there is just go and reset. We are a little bit late on this one. That's probably so late onto the event, and I don't want to waste too much time, but at least hopefully I've shown there how that works in theory. Now, there is actually benefits of going ahead and doing things like the Snow Monarch, and it's this whole winter event in general, whether you're actively participating in hopping servers to get the maximum amount of rewards possible, or if you're simply just going and AFKing it, because you can not only go ahead and obtain a ton of rare powder dust, go ahead and give the shadows, which they are kind of decent. I mean, there is ways to make these shadows better. You've got snow there, and you'll get an M rank snow if you're lucky. You got Laruda, and then you also have metal. I mean, the only one that's like really meta in my opinion right now is snow. Especially when it's the M-rank version of it, but either way, they can go ahead and help you out progressing through the game. But one of the nice things you get is Relics. And now, if you are going to buy any Game Pass in the game, the best Game Pass right now, in my opinion, is the Extra Relic Game Pass. Now, it is expensive, but if you have them tickets, please buy this Game Pass, because if you manage to go ahead and be able to put 2 of these on, you can stack it a ton. So, such as levels with shadows. I know I'm not really, my whole build isn't really a level build. I'm a little all over the place, but if you want to maximize your damage, you can use 2 shadows, two relics that will go ahead and help you buff your damage a ton. So for example, I could use a Frostbound Core to go ahead and get 1 buff from that, and then I really don't have a ton of relics, so I don't actually have no one I can use, but then I can have another one that goes ahead and boosts stats as well, or I could go ahead and grind up in areas such as Brum and Dragon. So if you go ahead and do the dungeons in Brum and Dragon, they both have chance of dropping relics that will go ahead and basically it just give you a higher chance that it's called drop rate relics, and that means basically a higher chance of being able to obtain the Laruda dagger. So if you are just going to do one of them, I think the one in Dragon City is slightly better than the one in, actually I think the one in Brum's better than Dragon City, although maybe similar. But if you manage to obtain both of them, of course you can't have the same relic equipped, you can go ahead and have a much higher chance at obtaining the Laruda dagger. And just generally relics are very important right now, so definitely focus on them. The next thing I'm going to recommend is join a good guild. Being in a good guild helps out so much. My guild is in no way a good guild, so definitely able to look higher than this, but you can get some really good guilds out there, which honestly are just going to like mean you're going to get some really insane stats boosts, at least from this. The extra shadow range is very nice. The extra relic will be like so meta when this is actually obtainable for most guilds. Very few guilds can afford this, but some do have it, I'm pretty sure. So I would 100%, if you can do, try and join a guild with this. It's maybe more at the moment, it's quite hard to do, but after probably the next update, it'll become quite common for guilds to have this, at least the higher end ones. Also, when you join a guild, they tend to have raid parties. That will help you out a ton. Also, if you are looking to get a good amount, I feel like most people have gone ahead and done this, but make sure you just have redeemed the most recent code. I mean, it's very easy. I'm pretty sure it's one M likes or something like that. Let's see if it's right. So 1M likes, and yep, 1M likes, and it will go and give you some like tickets. I think it's 100 free tickets, which you can complain about. It gives you some potions, but the main thing it goes and gives you this nice little mount here, the skeletal dragon. Hey, it's pretty much it. It's like one of the fastest things. It's the fastest free play mount in the game. So definitely go and do it. Also, right now, if you are just playing the game, do the event when it appears. If you're not doing the event, do dungeons. Dungeons are so good at getting your level up. Now the event will actually level up as well, but dungeons, you need to be grinding dungeons. So you basically, if you are doing this, depending on if you've got a shadow build or a weapon mastery build, just put your stats and whatever you need to put it in. I think shadow power can be at like fully maxed. It can be better than weapon mastery, but it basically depends. Do you have better shadows, do you have better weapons, and kind of go for a build like that. I actually think I'll be doing more damage to the weapon mastery, just to get curious there. But I've barely done any dungeons. I'm already level 10. You can easily grind up some more and yeah, get your level a lot higher, which means your damage is going to be going up like a ton, because hey, the higher the level, that's an extra, like, depending on where you put it, a good chunk of damage there. It may not seem a lot doing a few one level, but do multiple, hey, you're going to be in a really, really good place in the game to go ahead and help you progress through it. Now, of course, if you do have the weapon, it kind of goes without saying, but you need to make sure you do go ahead and get a good enchant on it. Now, enchants, the main one everybody goes for, and I suppose it is just the most like commonly used one, is going to be going ahead and aiming for sharpness 8. Now, sharpness 8 is insanely good, and I'm not going to be a person to at all dismiss that. But if you do have the spare stuff to go and do so, so for example, if let's say I was happy to see Laruda dagger, and then I have a ton of legendary powders, so you different powders to other things, I could actually go ahead and go over here, and I could try and get a better roll on this, because there is some that are just going to make your progressing through the game a bajillion times easier, because a lot of people, I think they just think sharpness is the only decent one. Now, if we go over to enchants, and we go just onto this bit here, which shows different enchants, it shows what all of them do. Vorpal aspect. If you manage to get Vorpal aspect and sharpness, it is going to go ahead and like help you out a ton. Basically, the Vorpal aspect means the weapon has a chance to go ahead and hit another time, and you can stack that. You can be hitting for one hit, you can do multiple hits. So even if your damage is lower, basically, if you don't understand what that means, you just get multiple hits in. And multiple hits means you can get higher DPS. As DPS is not the number it shows on the weapon. I actually think it's like if you've got the proper speed on, like 2.5, maybe 3 times this. But basically, if you go ahead and get Vorpal, you could basically be doubling the damage. So although the actual damage you won't show visibly is being doubled, you'll be doing double the amount of damage. So definitely a thing to grind there. Inferno Castle, if you're wondering about grinding that, I don't really think it's worth the time it takes at the moment, in my opinion, unless you desperately need dust, you know, to do the event. Honestly, in my opinion, just grind the show event. Do some dungeons in your spare time. Anyway, I know I'm probably going to live at some point. At least I'm going to start trying to do some live streams on the channel, so feel free to check them out if you want. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. Bye.